Bore da, croeso I gwasanaeth yr wythnos. Good morning and welcome to this week's assembly.
Hello everybody, I hope you had a great half-term holiday last week and enjoyed your time at home. It's back to school and we've got a new half-term and we have a new value for this half-term.
Remember, a value is what we believe is important about how we work and behave in school, but also at home. This half-term, our new value is inspirational. It's a big word, so what does it actually mean? Well, inspirational is all about being the best that you can be. Looking up to somebody else, maybe a hero of yours or somebody that you respect. It's also about believing in yourself and aiming high and having big dreams for your future. Now, have a little look at the images on the screen and see if you can work out what today's assembly is all about. Today, we're talking about St. David's Day because tomorrow is the 1st of March and that's when we celebrate St. David's Day. We often dress up, we eat Welsh cakes, and we talk about wearing daffodils and leeks, and we often look at the Welsh flag as well, the Welsh dragon. But who was St. David? And why, after hundreds of years, do we still remember him? And why does he inspire so many people in our country today? Today's assembly is about learning more about St. David, who lived in Wales many years ago. This is St. David. He lived hundreds of years ago in West Wales. On the 1st of March every year, we celebrate St. David's Day. This day is called Dydd Gwyl Dewi in Welsh. David enjoyed reading and writing. His teacher's name was Paulinus. David loved to listen to monks in the church spreading the word of Jesus. David's mother's name was Non and his father's name was Sant. David's father was an important man. He was a king of West Wales. They soon realised that their son was a special boy. Wherever David went, a special bird called a white dove would follow him. David loved to hear stories all about Jesus, so he decided to become a monk, a man who works in a church, when he was much older. David was a good and very kind man. David was a shy and quiet boy, and he would sit and listen to the other monks in the church. One day, he could see Paulinus, his teacher, struggling. He had lost his eyesight over time and was now finding it hard to see. David thought he might be able to help, so he touched Paulinus' eyes. Suddenly, Paulinus could see again. David spent much of his time travelling around Britain spreading the word of Jesus. But he returned to Wales with his friends Aidan, Ishmael and Tylo. They decided to build a monastery, a special type of church in West Wales. But, unfortunately, one day a fierce man called Boyer came along. He told David he didn't want him to build his monastery on the land near him. He went to hurt David, but God protected David from harm. After this, David was even more determined to build his monastery, the special church. He worked hard and he made sure everyone else worked very hard too. St. David grew leeks, a type of vegetable, at his monastery. His followers all wore leeks too, to show their support for him. When they were doing any battles, Welsh soldiers also wore leeks on their helmets, so everybody knew that they were Welsh. This is why we wear leeks on St. David's Day. St. David is also said to have performed many miracles. For example, he was telling a large crowd of people a story when the ground where he stood rose up high so that everybody could see and hear him. The story also says that a white dove, a bird sent by God, settled on his shoulder, which is why we often see St. David in pictures with a white dove upon his shoulder. St. David inspired many people in Wales, and today we still remember him on the 1st of March every year. So let's see how well you were listening to today's story about St. David. I've got a little quiz for you to have a go at next, so get ready to pause the assembly and see if you can answer the questions. Please pause the assembly and see if you can have a go at today's quiz. So hopefully you know a little bit more now about St. David, and tomorrow, on the 1st of March, you can wear red to school to remember St. David, who inspired so many people such a long time ago. Have a great Monday, and we look forward to seeing everybody dressed up for St. David's Day tomorrow.